Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our session for Career Services for Education, Government, and Human Services and our Environment and Sustainability Path. My name is Jess Wilkie. I'm Director of Guided Pathways, and I'm joined here today by Professor Jana Nib from Social Sciences, who is our Pathway Navigator for our two paths that we're highlighting on Path Day today. I'm going to very quickly turn it over to our colleagues from Career Services. I'd like to welcome Danielle McKell and Sharon Sadlisky. Welcome.
Thank you for having us. As always, we love being a part of Path Days, so thank you for your partnership and allowing us to be a part of this today to speak to some of our students. We have some really great things that we're looking forward to sharing with you all, and we actually have a presentation that we're going to share as well. I'm going to go ahead and just is okay if I share my screen. I do have access. Hopefully that's okay. Okay. And can you all see this presentation so far and right now, at least?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. So as Jess had mentioned, my name is Danielle McKell. I'm from CCRI's Career Service. I'm a career placement officer, so I work with several of our students with interviews, resume reviews. If you're trying to determine how do I start an internship, you would start off with our office and we'd be able to direct you and help you with providing some advice for your job search. And I'm also joined here by my colleague, Sharon. And Sharon, please feel free to introduce yourself as well.
Sure. Thank you, Danielle. My name is Sharon Sadlisky. I'm Assistant Director of Career Counseling within Career Services. And basically so much of my job is meeting with students and assisting them to make well-informed career decisions. So if you're not sure what major or pathway to choose, or you want to change, or if you just need information about possible career paths and career research, I'm your person.
Thanks, Sharon. And as Sharon mentioned, also right now, of course, we are in a virtual space, but at this time we are meeting with students virtually. So it would be just like a Zoom format like you see here today. You would schedule an appointment on Starfish as well as email us, but we'll talk more about that as well, different ways to connect with our team. But we are the Career Services Department. Again, we support students in various ways as they navigate throughout their career academically while they're at CCRI and beyond. So once you graduate and you're an alumni, you can also reference our office. Now, what you see here is our CCRI's Career Services webpage. On this page, there's a wealth of information as to how you can book an appointment, what types of resources that we have for you as students. As Sharon mentioned, if you're deciding on your major and you may need a little assistance or in terms of some guidance on how to make that decision, she is phenomenal in assisting you with that. And sometimes I assist her with that as well, because we are a team. There's 4 of us on our team, but we're a mighty team. So yes, please check out our website. It's ccri.edu/career services to learn about any resources that you may need, even workshops, because throughout the week during the semester, our department also hosts various workshops. Okay, and also, as we mentioned, within Career Services, there is the career development side as well as jobs and internships in different ways in which we can support you. We have great assessments, which are career assessments that are very helpful in working with you to help you make well-informed career decisions. One of the assessments that we have is CCRI My Majors, which associates different careers that you take after the test, the assessment, with majors specific to CCRI. And some of those majors you can transfer into RIC or URI, so you can see what paths there are, different career paths, as you transfer to URI or RIC. And then we also have an assessment called Type Focus 7. Usually when you're a new student, we recommend for you to start out with the My Majors, but for Type Focus 7, this is a little more comprehensive. But I would say with both of these, you have the option to be able to research. So once you go through the assessments, which take little, probably like 10 minutes or maybe a little bit more, it's definitely worth it to help you determine what types of careers that you may be interested in. So make sure that you take these assessments. Learn a little bit about yourself, your values, your interests, personality, and how they relate to different careers. And then even within those career assessments, there's an opportunity for you to do research, to look at different salary information, labor market information, see if an industry is booming or if an industry is slowing down, because we all know some careers are doing extremely well even during this pandemic, and other paths are, kind of having a little bit of a slowdown. So it's good to know what the market outlook is. So definitely, while you're a new student, even if you're graduating, make sure you do the career development side. It's worth it to do your research. In addition, we also have jobs and internships in our office because we work directly with various employers throughout Rhode Island and beyond. So if you need to know how to get started with finding jobs and internships, our office is a great place to start. We have a website called Handshake to help you locate a lot of those jobs and internships. They could be full-time, part-time, seasonal, you name it. Handshake has it, and Handshake is specific to you as a CCRI student or alumni. Employers are looking to hire you specifically, so they list jobs within this database. It's called ccri.joinhandshake.com. So make sure that you get started. If you have any questions, connect with our office. We also have resume.com if you need assistance with getting started with applying for different jobs, because you always want to make sure you have that resume piece together first. And what's great about our office, if you already have a resume or if you don't, we can help you with getting started. Resume.com is a great way to get started in building it. And if you just need a review, our team is here to support you with that as well. So you would just send us an email and we'll set up a session to meet with you. And in addition, once you actually apply for those jobs and you start getting those interviews requests, a great way to practice is to use one of our resources called biginterview.com. So you can begin practicing. It's really great. There's a whole bunch of videos that you would watch to give you some tips on how to interview. Someone would show up on a screen just like we have here. They would ask you a question and then you would be recorded to be able to see how you answered those questions. So just another great way to practice as we're all in this virtual space.
An aquatic space.
Yeah, as we're all in this virtual space and you're practicing those interview skills. Okay, I'll pass it off to you, Sharon.
Hey, thank you. So what do we mean when we talk about career development? If you are trying to decide, is this major a right fit for me? Is this pathway a good fit for me? Or like I said, if you have one and you want to change, it really all starts with what we call career development. And basically there are 3 steps to this, and each step builds upon the previous step. So the first step is called self-assessment. And as Danielle mentioned, we have 2 online assessments, either My Majors or Type Focus, to help you get started. When we talk about self-assessment, there are 4 components to any self-assessment: your work values, your interests, your personality style, and your skills. So the benefit of doing any self-assessment is a couple. First of all, you're going to get to know yourself a little bit better. And that's always a good thing because employers are going to ask you to tell me about yourself. So it's when you also know about yourself, you're also given the language from doing the assessments to talk professionally about yourself. And so that's really, really important. The other thing that doing a self-assessment can help you do is to recognize those opportunities that are going to be a good fit for you. So often when we're talking about making a well-informed career decision, there's 2 big pieces of information you need to know about. The first one is knowing yourself, knowing, again, your VIPs, the values, interests, personality, skills. And then you need to know about, okay, I understand myself, but now what are all the options available to me? Expanding your knowledge of the world of work and all the different career paths that are open to you. So that's what self-assessment is going to help you do. Once you have done the self-assessment, again, both of our assessments are what we call self-directed assessments. So you get your results in real time and the results are explained to you. So it doesn't take much time to do the self-assessment. Of course, we're always available to help you navigate and understand your results and help you go on to that next step. But the next step after self-assessment is to explore. And I do recommend students spend quite a bit of time in exploring if they need to, and also get some hands-on experience. We can do exploration through websites, through which I'll show you in a minute, taking classes, hands-on learning such as internships, volunteering, informational interviews. The more that you can explore, the easier it is usually to make a final choice, and that's decision. So I like to talk to students about exploring as a real active part, and it's a way to try out a career, because really, how are we supposed to really know if this is the right fit for us if we can't kind of try it out, right? So all different ways to try it out, and that's exploring. I think next slide, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm going to take you to this website. This is a great exploration website. It's called What Can I Do with This Major? And the beauty of this one is that it takes you, it connects majors to careers. So let me go to this website, share my screen. This should work, yes. So this is through the University of Tennessee Career Services. I take you through this website this way because if you just Google what can I do with a major, you're going to get different websites. And these folks developed this resource more than 20 years ago, and so many college career centers use this. So you just go down to Explore, Research Majors and Careers, and you're going to click on what can I do with this major. Going to take a second to come up. And what this does, it looks about like between 40, 50 majors. We're going to click on view all majors. And like I said, it connects majors to careers. So today I know we're looking at environmental, government, sustainability, and human services. So, and I know we have two students, Audrey and Gianna. If you either want to put in the chat, maybe what major that you're interested in pursuing, or even what career you're interested in, we could kind of do, oh, I see something in the chat. Awesome, thank you. Oh, well, we're going to show you how you find this video on, it's not on YouTube. We're going to give you the link to it for sure. I can also put it, I like to take it through that. Early education, awesome. Thank you, Audrey. So let me close this out. So let's go to education. Here we go. So we're going to click on education. Takes a second to come up. And I highly recommend you click on print version because you're going to get this great 3-column view. So for every single major in here, it has these 3 columns and it talks about education. So think of, for example, education as this umbrella, right? What are all the different career paths underneath this big education umbrella that you could go into, right? Certainly you could go through K-12 teaching, and that really breaks it down into, obviously you could teach, you could go into administration. Usually administrators such as principals or superintendents usually start out as teachers, but then there's tons of different special services, tutoring services, test preparation, that's all their K-12. Of course, higher education, right? In the venue that we are right now, teaching, research, information library services, and then so much more within higher education. Sometimes I will suggest to students, think of CCRI as a business. If you're interested in marketing, we have a marketing department. If you're interested in IT, we have an IT department, right? If you're interested in going into library sciences, talk to our librarians. If you're interested in events, we have student affairs. So with teaching, there's so many areas within higher education that you could go into. You could also go into adult and continuing education as well. Even business and communication, so instructional designers, and training and development, a lot of teachers will go into that part of as well. So this would not be in the classroom. A lot of times it's for corporations or nonprofits. Even going into government is another pathway that you could go into that you may not think. Nonprofit as well, because it's working with people and educating them and teaching them. And at the end of every of the majors, there's some general information, and this is super helpful. We won't go through each of these, but this is really helpful. The second column is employers. Who could I work for? Let's look at the business and education one, right? So you could work for bookstores, you could work for textbook publishers, online textbook, educational websites. That's a whole nother, part of our industry that you could go into. So many, once you start really diving into that, you see that there's a lot. And then the last column I want to take you to is probably one of my favorite columns. It's the strategies. I want to point out that these strategies are things you can do right now as an undergraduate student. These are not things that you can do, well, you can still do them after, but the strategies here are things that you can do while you, as an undergraduate student, that's going to make you more attractive to employers who want to hire you after graduation. And this is like having a career coach right next to you, these strategies. So they can be really helpful. Trying to, I see we have some things in the chat, but I can't see it for right now. Can you see that, Danielle?
I can.
Okay, I was just giving links to where the recordings would be, but also a question that we have in here, which might be something we collaboratively answer. Audrey says, I am currently in early education and transferring to URI. I want to specialize in special ed, but I wasn't sure if I then need to switch to elementary ed now. My answer to that would be, Audrey, if you are officially in the JAA program, you could reach out to JAA to make sure that you're in the right areas, taking the right courses. You can also take a look at the video from this morning. Actually, URI will be with us again this afternoon to talk about transfer, specifically in education. So I believe that session will be at 12:30 today. So if you go back to that webpage and follow the live link, you can talk right to or ask questions of an admissions person from URI, and they can get you in touch with the right person at URI to make sure that your transfer is all set.
One other thing, when I think of special education, yes, there are special education teachers who work in a school setting, but there's also special education consultants. And so these are people who, you know, have their degree in special ed, have experience working in special ed, and they might have their own consulting business. And so what am I talking about? I'm talking about if I'm a parent with a student with special needs and I feel he or she may not be getting the appropriate education in a public school, I might hire a special education consultant to do an individual learning plan, an IEP, and kind of be my go-between between my family and the school system. I know that our some of our advisors who work in disability services at CCRI have a special education background. So there's all different types of career paths. I know traditionally we think when we look at special education, we think of special education teachers in the school setting, but there's different, you know, career opportunities as well. I'm going to stop sharing this page for right now because I'm looking at our time. Oh, okay. So Gianna, yeah, you know, Gianna, I'm gonna put my email here in the chat too. And we can, you can make an appointment with me. We can talk more about that. Special education teacher assistant. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, and Gianna, as Jessica had mentioned too, I agree with you in terms of connecting with someone from URI just to make sure that everything that you're taking at CCRI will be applicable as well as transfer over to URI. So making that connection with someone over there would be extremely helpful. And Sharon put her email in here for you as well to have for reference. So Gianna, as you're exploring that special education field, Sharon's a great point of contact to help you explore that. And then also as you start applying, if you want to begin exploring those fields and you want someone to look at your resume, you want to get started with that, I'll put my email in the chat too, so you also have access to that as well. And I'll put that in towards the end. Let me make a note.
I can do it for you now if you want to, Danielle, since they're together.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize. For some reason, I was thinking URI. Sorry about that. And Gianna, and I'm going to look for it too. Early education, transferring to URI. Okay, I apologize. That was you, Audrey. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so as we mentioned, Sharon talked about the exploration piece, which is really important. So use your time wisely at CCRI or while you're in school to really use your time to explore different fields that you're interested in. Don't feel like you have to have the answer to what you have to do for the rest of your life. Also, I know a lot of us graduate from college and the first thing people ask you, what are you going to do now? And definitely think about what you're going to do after, because it comes up faster than you think. But don't feel like whatever decision you make has to be what you hold for the rest of your life. Because I know for all of us, even within our team, some of us have worked in retail, and then we've worked in, I have my supervisor used to work at a liquor store, and I worked at the Boys and Girls Club and then worked in finance. So we all take different directions in our careers. So it's okay to not necessarily know exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life, but definitely think about the experiences that you want to have to get you towards your long-term goals. So begin exploring that as well. And also, in terms of exploring, one of the things that we get into too is Handshake. So as I mentioned to you all, CCRI has its own platform. It's similar to Indeed.com in that you can explore different jobs, internships, full-time, part-time. Sometimes you can see the pay scale to see how much the position is paying for. It all depends on what the employer puts. But Handshake is where you would get started to begin exploring a lot of these jobs and internships. And typically to get started, if you don't already have an account, and I'm wondering if any of you have an account, and if so, or if not, please feel free to share in the chat. And I can be sure to put this Handshake link in the chat to get started. So it's ccri.joinhandshake.com, and I'll show you what that looks like. So once you click on this link here to log in or to create your account, the next step it's going to ask you to do is to create your profile. Once you go through the prompts to create your profile, the next thing you want to do is also update your resume. So again, you can either connect with our team if you have a resume that you've done very well with. Again, we can be an extra pair of eyes for you just to make sure that it's all formatted, updated. It reflects your skills and backgrounds for specific jobs that you're applying for. And then you could upload that into Handshake. And then what I want to show you too is, again, once you type in that ccri.joinhandshake.com/login, what you can do is either log in with your username or password, which will be your CCRI credentials, so your CCRI login, username and password. So once you do that, again, it will prompt you to create your profile. Once you're in the system and have created all of your information, it will look just like this. So this is a little bit of a demo on what it would look like. So once you create that profile, you're going to see up here where there's jobs, you'll see events, and I'll click on events so you can see that. I actually have our job fair here. And for all of you who have a Handshake account, the only way for you to access this event page is for you to first and foremost check your emails, because we recently sent you an invite to attend our virtual fair, and there will be a button in your email where it says register for the fair, and you would click on that. So you can explore different events. If you have questions and need some answers, there's some common questions in here. And then if you wanted to connect with other students and or alumni, that's what this option is for as well. But today we'll talk about some of the jobs and internships. For a lot of you, I know we mentioned we have some education students here today. And if there's another field that I missed, I know we talked about special education and higher education. So for higher ed, one thing that I would type, just so that you all know when you explore a job search site, it's important to think about certain keywords that might correlate with what you're looking for. So for example, if you want to work in a school setting, you can type, for example, higher education. If you have a specialization and you want to potentially see what it's like to work in higher education, just like CCRI, to see if there are any positions that pop up that you might be interested in. So Brown University, I know they have AmeriCorps, but we're looking to see if there's any schools. Let's see. So higher education would be one. You can even type in high school if you have an interest in working in a high school. And you can take a look to see what they have. They have high school computer science teacher. Sometimes you can look up substitute teacher if that's another area that you wanted to get started in. You can even explore like high school and type in internship to see if there's any opportunity to work within the high school or even in high school administration. Because one great way to get in the door is to think about even working in the administrative office, so you have a background to see what it's like to work in that environment. And once you work in a high school administration at the front desk or with in that type of role, you'll get some exposure to people who work in that field. And do any of you as students have any positions that you'd like me to look up, or any particular keywords? I know we mentioned special education, so I can see what we have. Special education. Okay, and then for example, they have special education teacher. So I'll click on that. This is the title of the job. And of course, we don't want to go that far. So another thing I want to show you all too is this location-based setting, because you don't want to have to travel 50 miles for your job. I see someone put something in the chat. Sorry.
Oh, I just put that in the chat for a lot. If you're in education, you want to be a teacher, definitely, of course, our handshake. But this is where knowing some of the, I guess, career research websites, schoolspring.com, at least in Rhode Island, is where pretty much all the jobs for teaching public-private education is.
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, you can use certain keywords to explore different jobs and internships in Handshake. As Sharon mentioned, I know School Spring is great. Another one too is that I know Sharon knows as well as higher ed jobs, if you're interested in working in a higher ed setting. And also, I know that one of the majors that's also in attendance for today's fairs is government. So policy might be something else that you might want to explore. So I typed in policy just as a keyword, and we can see that there's some policy internships. So once I click on the name of the internship, you can scroll down a little bit. A few things to pay attention to too is the application deadline. They give you a while for this one. They let you know when it was posted, how much they're paying. Of course, the pay varies per each individual position. So look to see what works for you in terms of what you're looking for in a pay rate. See what the hours are, which some employers put the exact days and times that you would be working. They describe a little bit about the position. And sometimes they list their own qualification section, or it's a part of that actual description. So just make sure anytime you apply for a position, read through, ensure that you have the background to apply. It's always worth it to, if it's something that you're interested in or have a background in, to apply. And if you need assistance with applying through Handshake, please let our team know. Typically, you'll either see here where it says apply externally, which will take you right to the website, or it will allow you to just apply directly through Handshake. It will say apply now. And that's how you would go about applying for jobs on Handshake. And one more thing I want to show you all too, because just like with Indeed.com, where you have to include your resume online or within that platform, to add your resume to Handshake, you would go up to your initials on the top right-hand page and click on Documents. And from here, you would be able to upload your resume from your computer. Any career documents, your resume, your cover letter. So again, if the job requires, or the description of the job requires for you to have a resume and a cover letter, make sure that you submit both to make sure that you at least meet those basic requirements that they ask for. And even with the cover letter, if you have no idea with how to get started, or you have one and just want to have it reviewed, we can assist you with that as well, because we know cover letters are usually something that supplements your resume as you apply for positions online. So ultimately, anytime you're on a job search, just make sure you become familiarized with the field in which you're applying to. I know Sharon showed you all the, what can I do with this major? So take a look at some of those jobs and put some of those jobs, particularly within Handshake or with any platform where you're searching for jobs or internships, and use that to help guide you to determine your next step on your career path and how you want to get started. And did anyone have any questions? Good so far. Okay. And then also something else we wanted to mention today too is we have an upcoming career fair. It's April 14th, which is on a Wednesday from 1 to 4 p.m. So it's in the afternoon. You can connect. Again, it's going to be hosted on Handshake. So the first thing you all want to do is make sure that you get started in creating your accounts if you don't have one already. So please activate that account. Usually it will have you sign in as a student with your credentials. You just activate your page. It will go to your email. And then again, reference that email that you would have received on the 23rd. And there'll be another email coming out soon to be able to register for the actual fair. And so far we have about 63 employers from all different industries. So within Handshake, you can also sort by your major to see which employers may be aligned or hiring majors for, policy, government, education, and more. So it's worth it to explore the fair to see who's attending. And again, the reason why we have so many employers is because they know that you all are graduating. Some of you take some breaks in summer or just want to fulfill your internship credits or just to get that experience in the summer. So it's worth it to come and explore and meet with these employers because they're looking to hire you. We have a lot of employers that are excited to meet with you all. So please hope to see you at the fair.
And Danielle, I know we have students here interested in teaching. I know, one of if you are looking to be a teacher, any relevant work experience you can have is super important. And so a lot of teachers in the summer will be camp counselors. And I know the YMCA is coming to the fair, I believe, right? So, yes. I mean, it's not just if you're listening to this, because, well, I'm not going to go because I'm not graduating. No, this is for you. It's for you right now for this summer. So.
Yes. Thank you, Sharon. Yes. A few shout outs for education. Yeah, definitely the Y. They're looking to hire big time. They have several positions that are available all throughout Pawtucket, Lincoln, I believe Woonsocket, and a few other locations. So they will be someone that's hiring big time, especially during the seasonal months. And there could be opportunities also for full-time permanent. So it's worth it to explore everyone who's coming. If you need a list or if you want to ask about who's attending the fair, please do connect with our team. And we have our contact information right here for you to get in touch with us. You can email us at this website, at this email here, schedule an appointment on Starfish, check out our website as we showed earlier, or you can follow us at our Instagram page at CCRI Career Services. Okay, and one more thing I'll do, and I think Sharon, I'll put my, oh, you already put it in the chat. Thank you for providing that contact information.
Sure, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Danielle and Sharon, for joining us today and providing that great overview. I'm just going to wrap us up here. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we do have more sessions today having to do with the Education, Government, and Human Services and Environment and Sustainability paths. And we also have one more path day for this semester next week for our Health and Health Administration path. You can find the schedules for the rest of today and next week's sessions, and as well as links to the recordings of the previous path days we have had, including last fall as well. We had a full set of path days then as well. And you can find all of that information at www.ccri.edu/pathways/pathdays. And just a little more information and another shout out for the virtual job fair. And again, that's happening on Handshake on April 14th from 1 to 4. And you can find that by just searching on the CCRI webpage for career services or virtual job fair. Either one of those searches will get you right to that page. So thank you again. And I hope everyone has a great day. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.